Hello and welcome back to the Old Realms. We're here and attempting to attack this castle. Unfortunately, my faction has decided that they're going to be making peace, or at the very least, maybe the Paravon people, you know, they're probably trying to make peace because they want to prevent themselves from being completely eliminated entirely. However, obviously, I've called for an army because I want to try to speed things up a little bit. I want to try to make things as smooth and as streamlined as we possibly can. And well, one thing that I want to mention, are we already too strong? That's the question, you know, as I said before, usually what I tend to do, if we become super strong and there is very little, you know, opposing force that can stop us, then I'm more inclined to be like, you know what, okay, we're done here, and then I move on to the next series, and then we see what we can do with that, whatever it is. And so I'm wondering, do you think we are too strong right now? Do you think that this is it? Do you think that this is the, you know, the strength of the damsel? I mean, I've shown off quite a lot of its spells. The only thing I haven't shown off is the well, haven't shown off a bunch of its spells, to be honest, but there is one spell that I wanted to show off, and that is not currently available to me at the moment because I just haven't had the opportunity to actually get there. Because obviously you're going to need to get to... yeah, this guy's going to just toss me off here. Okay, that's annoying. Alright, well, whatever the case, yeah, as I said, basically the only one that we haven't been able to really see is the... Karondar? Or what is it called now? I've completely forgotten what it's called, but... You know what I'm talking about. You know, it's that one. It's the one that that I was considering earlier in the episode, well, earlier in the series, shall we say? And I was deciding between the lightning bolt and that one, and I decided on the lightning bolt. So yeah, there's obviously something that we haven't tried out there, and I would like to try it out because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the meteor, isn't it? Yes, there we go. The meteor. There we are. My memory has come in now. Finally, look at that. It's actually finally working for me. Alright, so yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much it. So that is the only spell that we kind of want to check out. Aura of the Lady, let's cast that once again. I'm not getting my Winds of Magic back, unfortunately, but that's absolutely fine. But yeah, that's the point. If we do actually end up finishing the series here, then I have an idea for the next one already, because let's face it, there are so many different things that you can actually play with this mod. It's actually kind of crazy how many different things that you're going to be able to participate in. You know, there are just so many different classes that you can choose, and I'm really intrigued actually to see what kind of other career options they have with certain ones. Like for example, I'm thinking about a firearms user, so gunpowder and engineering and so on and so forth, because obviously it's probably going to be a really good idea for us to try to get cannons and artillery and just have a whale of a time in that regard. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be the next one. That I don't know if there are any others. If you've played the mod, then by all means, you know, give me some suggestions if you feel like maybe there's a more interesting one than a gunpowder user. But for me personally, I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, as I say, my faction is going to be making peace in just a second, which I am not exactly pleased about. Let's face it, I am definitely not pleased about it, but I can't really do much about it. As I say, I can't do much about it. I am, you know, not able to do anything to sway them at all. So that is very sad. But, you know, that's just how it goes. That is how it goes. Oh yeah, by the way, I also now have the new perk, which provides me with experience whenever we discard weapons now, as well as armor. So that's actually really nice, because that means, yes, you guessed it, we're going to be able to level up our troops just that much quicker. And that means that we'll have even more wonderful knights under our command. I'm actually really... You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what happens here. I'm going to say no. Ah, are you serious? Yeah, as you can see, they literally just forced it through, even though that is not... I don't even understand why they would do this, to be honest, because look at our territory right now. Our territory is pretty large. They only own, what is this? 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's kind of weird. I think that's kind of weird. Anyway, I have an army up and running here, so you know what I'm actually gonna do, right? You know what I'm gonna do. All right, let me just actually have a look here. I'm just gonna give this to this guy. Just gonna get some relation with him. Yeah, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm literally just gonna declare war against these guys again. Even if I get kicked out or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure if they can kick you out. But yeah, I've kind of had enough with the AI making these really, really weird decisions. So I'm literally just going to be attacking. Can I do that? Yes, I can. There you go. So we're making war with them again straight away. That's very funny. Did I get kicked out? I don't think so, right? I don't think I've got... No, I am actually still in command of the army. That's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, let's begin. Let's go straight on in here. They only have 507. We should be fine. And I guess this is what you can kind of do if you don't if you don't really care and you just throw all caution to the wind and you just go for it, you know? You just go for it, and that's exactly what we want here. It seems like this fellow is actually being attacked right now. I'm not entirely sure who he's engaging, but, you know, he's engaging something, and now he's... oh, he's actually defeated the guy. Okay, that's great. I was wholeheartedly assuming that he would just get himself completely murdered, and we would then be like, oh, well, seems like I'm going to need to rescue him, or something along those lines. Anyway, let's do this. We should be fine, obviously. I mean, the fact is, I've got my curses, I've got my hexes, you know, I've got all this wonderful, wonderful stuff that we can utilize, and that's going to be more than enough to do what I need to do. And let me actually just see here, just going to go like this, there we are, like this, there we go. I'm basically, have you seen what I'm doing right there? Because there's a gap in the gate, I'm actually making it so that my spell hits the upper portion of just up above the gate right there. You see, I just killed 332. No, I'm killing more. 367. I just killed 367. Just like that. Just because I did this method right here. This method right here is to literally get behind the defenses. And if you can see a bunch of people highlighted, like that, for example, then you're going to have an absolutely amazing time. Obviously, you're not going to be able to normally do this. Like, you know, obviously, if you play as a vampire or something like that, you're going to need to see your opponents a little bit more because you don't actually get the highlight. You're not going to get the highlight normally. At least as far as I remember, I don't think you get the highlight. So yeah, it really makes a huge difference to be able to just place it wherever. And that's the point. It does take a little bit of nuance to be able to actually place this down in such efficient places. Because obviously, you know, as it stands, you know, I just literally gained, as I said before, 360 kills in no time at all, just purely for the fact that I was able to find the position that is accurate enough to actually cast my spell. Because without that, you're not going to get that many kills. You know, you're not going to get that many kills. You might get, I don't know, 50, maybe 100 if you're lucky. But generally, getting me, I mean, you saw that right there, right? I got 360 kills in the first, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds. Not everyone is going to be able to do that because you've got to be, you know, you've got to be careful about where you go and what you do and how you're casting your spells. And that's it. You know, it's all about knowing the angles and in which place to actually put your spell down. That's really going to be the thing that will make the most difference. But yeah, we've killed 420 now as well. So I'm actually wondering, can I kill more? Do you think I can kill more? I think I can. Boom, there we go. I'm actually wondering if I can see people through here. I mean, you could see here that this is just above the gate. As I've said before, I personally would like to see spells actually deal damage to gates and things like that, but obviously this is... I don't know. I mean, hexes I don't think really should do damage to gates, but it might be cool if other things, like for example, green eye, you know, like for example this, green eye, it might be cool if this actually worked against gates. It actually gave me the hit marker, as you can see right there, but it did not give me any damage report. So I'm going to assume that spells, obviously, I mean, we know that already, but it would be cool if direct damage spells like bombardment spells and missile spells and so on and so forth would deal damage to the gates. Obviously not hexes, because I don't think that would make any difference. I don't think that would really make sense. But yeah, anyway, let me see if I can do something here. There we go. Just kill a couple more of them. And I've killed 471. Yeah. And this is the point. It's purely for the fact of my own placement. As I say, this is my own placement right here. And that is the only thing that is actually providing me with the damage. It's not actually an automatic process either, which is really quite funny. But yeah, as I say, at the very start of the video, are we too strong? Are we too strong? I mean, that's the funny thing. I personally think that this is very, very powerful. But for me personally, I mean, you've seen how much damage I actually do. Like, per tick, I'm doing like 5 damage. And I don't think that that is an exceptional amount, to be honest. So I think the only way that could probably make this more balanced, if you wanted to talk about you know, this in a balanced sort of sense, the only way you could do that is you could change how long the debuff is. And I don't really want to say this because I don't want to tell people what to do and how to balance it more accurately, because I actually don't really want it to be changed. I think it's actually I think it's fun the way this is, because obviously I'm using really high level spells. I mean, you know that the curse spell that I'm using right here is a master level spell. It should be strong, you know, it should be a strong thing. You should feel powerful to use it, because if you don't feel powerful, then it feels a bit, you know, feels a bit lacking, you know. It's like playing one of those games where they give you all that power at the very start, and then you're like, oh, this is fantastic, it feels great, and then all of a sudden they take away all of that power. That's a thing that has happened multiple times in the past, you know, with a number of different games. Darksiders does that. Long time ago I played that. I played the first one and the second one, and they do that in both games, and that's absolutely fine. You know, that's a great way of demonstrating what your character is capable of. But obviously you've got to think about this. You got to think about how fun is it, how satisfying is it to regain those skills. I think it's actually very satisfying. But what if you were to go and do the thing where, like, for example, if you make something, an ability I'm talking about here, if you make an ability too weak and it's a really high level skill, and I've had this happen as well in a number of games, action RPGs, MMO RPGs, just regular RPGs, CRPGs, basically whatever. I've played a huge amount of them, right? So if you were to make a really high level spell, and I'm talking about one of the best spells, or supposedly one of the best spells in the game, what if you were to make that spell be completely useless? And I'm not talking about completely useless as in it does like 0 damage, but I'm talking about them, the developers attempting to make some kind of balancing effort. And yeah, that's absolutely fine, you know, in a multiplayer sense, but in a single player sense, I don't know whether that really matters. Does it really matter about single player? Not sure. It very much depends. If it has a multiplayer component and a leaderboard component and maybe some kind of competitive component, sure, absolutely, why not? You know, go for it. But for me personally, I don't see what the point of actually nerfing abilities is. Just make other abilities better. You know what I mean? Obviously, as I said before, the only way that I can see to really balance this, these spells, is to make the debuff duration shorter. And as I say, I don't really want that because I think it's super fun the way it is. But if you make it shorter, then you do have the opportunity then to cast it again. And so it theoretically makes it so that you're not going to be killing things super fast. but you're then going to be spending more Winds of Magic. Which obviously is a nerf in itself kind of deal. So it does have that impact to it. So that's the only thing that I can really think of, because I obviously already said, you know, just increase its cost from 6 to 12. You know, that's perfectly fine. You know, you can increase that if you want to, and all that stuff. But in the end, I'm not sure how much that's really going to make a difference. I don't think the mana cost is the problem. I mean, I can, as I say, I mean, look at this. I can just cast Aura of the Lady. I have a 50% chance. Look at that. I've got 82 Winds of Magic back now, and I had, what was it, 67 or something like that. So that's the point. I can literally gain this back. Oh. Well. That's hilarious. I literally just got hit for 500 damage. That is so funny. Oh, these guys. Okay, yeah, well, I eliminated 358. I actually wonder whether I'm even going to be able to achieve victory here now. I think I'm probably not going to be able to. And yeah, this is the point, you know. Oh, yeah. So now, obviously, because I was able to eliminate so many, are we going to be able to achieve victory here? That's the question. But yeah, now that I've had my attention taken away, I'm probably not going to be able to get back on topic. But anyway, all I'm saying is, if you were to make a high-level spell super weak, for example, let's say the modding team for the Old Realms makes these hexes do less damage, or makes them, I don't know, tick at a slower rate, or makes them have a lower duration, it's not going to feel as fun, you know? It's not going to feel as fun. And I think that we've all got to remember that it is all down to player choice. Because, I mean, for me personally, I actually very much enjoy running around with a super strong spell, because that's something that I've earned. You know what I mean? I feel like I've earned it. It's like finding an amazing sword in the base game, or in any RPG for that matter. You know, let's say you're playing Legend of Zelda or whatever, and you find the Master Sword. Are you going to not use the Master Sword? You know, because that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to use the Master Sword because it's overpowered, or it's the same thing. You know, it's exactly the same thing where you find a really good piece of gear in an action RPG, for example, and then you go, oh yes, I'm not going to use that really powerful piece of gear because it's overpowered. No, that's the whole point. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is it just me? Hopefully it's not just me. I personally don't think it's just me, but I've seen a bunch of people say that the spells, and not even on the last episode, because I was obviously I was talking in the last episode about the balancing and so on and so forth, but I'm talking about the entire series. There's still people commenting on the previous episodes and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm in the minority here, you know? Maybe I'm thinking something completely weird and out there, you know? Because for me, as I say, a single player experience, it doesn't matter to me whether something is overpowered or not, because I think that that's fun. I don't know. As I say, maybe it is indeed just me. But yeah, if you liken it to these really powerful, you know, pieces of equipment that you're going to gain, like for example, you play Diablo 4, you play Diablo 3, you play Last Epoch, you play Path of Exile, whatever. You play any of these action RPGs, and you get one of these really amazing drops to occur, because that's obviously what you're trying to do. You know, you're trying to search for that really good, well-statted item, and as soon as you find that item, your character build all of a sudden becomes insanely strong. And then you are now becoming one of the most godlike entities in the entire game, until that item inevitably gets replaced, unless you're obviously at max level already. But that's what I'm saying. It's all about becoming strong, you know? It's all about becoming strong. It's all about becoming, you know, quote-unquote overpowered, and having fun in the process of doing that. But obviously, maybe that's not the case. Maybe you prefer more of a simulation style. Maybe that's the point. Maybe simulation is much more of a draw for some people, and in which case the challenge is going to be the main focus You see? Because in an RPG, for me, it's all about becoming stronger and feeling that sense of progression. I think someone actually did mention that. That was very, very true. They said something along the lines of, if you don't feel as though your spells are becoming stronger as you get stronger, in other words, as you level up your spellcraft, in the case of the old realms at least, if you don't feel like that's happening, then your sense of progression is completely thrown off, and it feels as though you haven't really gone anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like level scaling, you know? It's like level scaling. I know a bunch of people had very controversial opinions about, what was it? Was it Skyrim, or was it one of the other games that Bethesda came out with, where they had level scaling? There was some kind of weird thing going on with level scaling, and I think they added some game added an option to scale. I think it was Witcher 3, actually. Maybe it was Witcher 3? I'm actually not entirely sure. Anyway, the point is, level scaling sometimes makes things really, really not so fun, because you are then going to be scaled to the opponent's level, and as a result, you're... Well, I mean, shall we say the opponent is going to be scaled to your level. And in those cases, you're then going to be like, oh, okay, well, what's the point of me leveling, you know? There's no point in me leveling because I am consistently the same level as my opponent. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here. For example, if you know, get these spells and then they don't really do much, or they do a lot less than you anticipated, then it's going to be a huge disappointment, and it's going to be like, well, what am I even bothering for, you know? What am I leveling my spellcraft for if it's not to feel strong? Yeah, well, whatever. I've gone on for so long about this particular thing, but I thought it was an interesting, I don't know, I feel like it's an interesting discussion, interesting topic, shall we say. And I apologize, alright? I apologize for going on about it for a bit too long. I did not mean to do that. I was just thinking to myself, it actually seems like a really interesting subject to talk about in regards to, you know, game mechanics and progression itself. Oh, someone's actually opened up the door. Hello there. All right, I'm just gonna walk in. Hello there, sirs. Would you like to say hi to my flock of doom? Yeah, there we go. It's a murder. Yes. If you get it. Do you get it? Because if they're crows, you know, someone made that joke in the comments. I'm stealing it. I'm sorry. It's a reference to your comment. Let's just say that. Thank you very much for commenting that. I thought that was very funny. Anyway, yeah, we're basically done here. That was nice and simple, wasn't it? But yeah, that's the point. I think the only thing that I would like to see a little bit more of in future versions, obviously, as I say, this is still a work in progress. But what I would like to see is the ability for enemies to use more magic. Because let's face it, if the AI is able to use more magic themselves, obviously we haven't really fought against any vampires or anything like that. So maybe that's going to be a thing that will, you know, make a huge difference to our overall perspective on things. Oh, seems like I actually... I did level up, as you can see. My clan tier has actually advanced to the next level, which is very nice. And, oh, wait a minute, what do we got going on here? Ah, no, we've actually eliminated Paravon. There we are, fantastic. I actually heard the sound, you know, I heard the war declaration sound, and I was like, what? What is going on here? No, you know, we don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so yeah, they are all eliminated. We don't have to worry about them any further. And as you can see, look at that. We just expanded our territory significantly once more. And yeah, that's as I say, harking back to the question at the very start of this video. Are we done? Is there anything more that can challenge us? Do you have any suggestions about where I should go next and what I should do? Who I should attack? Because from my perspective right now, I'm not entirely sure. Like, yes, look at this. I have 4,000, well, shall we say my faction has 4,200 total strength. But I don't think we can really take anything from that at the moment, because 4,200 strength is really not anything, you know. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like our combat strength isn't actually going to directly impact how effective one is in a battle. I think the combat strength for any particular faction is directly representative of how strong they are in regards to how difficult they are to take their fiefs and so on and so forth. But from a battle perspective, and yeah, well, in more of a minor way, tackling them in a siege, dependent on if there are defenders, vassal defenders, and so on and so forth. I'm currently thinking that I might go over and try to attack some of the vampires. I think that sounds like a pretty fun idea. We may want to try to do that. Let me actually just very quickly see what's going on here. Okay, so first of all, gonna go over here, and we're gonna be. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm partially really kind of badly wanting to see how it is to fight against vampires and fight against zombies and skeletons and so on and so forth. Because for me personally, I feel like it's probably going to be really, really simple. But I'm wondering how the vampires are going to be. Because maybe they're going to use their spells. Maybe they're going to use Soul Rain on us. And maybe that's going to be kind of harsh. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be kind of interesting to find out. Cedric is fighting some people around here. I think he's actually doing a remarkably good job of staying alive. Because I know I said in a previous episode that I don't have a lot of faith at all in parties in Bannerlord. They've always been extremely disappointing to me for some reason. They're always kind of like, well, I'm going to run in here and just get myself killed. And they tend to do that over and over. So, yeah, those kinds of things really do grind my gears quite heavily. However, Cedric, on the other hand, is actually good. He seems to be surviving amazingly well, which I'm very surprised at, to be honest. Anyway, bound settlement over here. We're going to go over to Nice, and we're going to go and see what's actually going on there. Oh, what's that? Is that actually Cedric is recruiting all these people, as far as I can tell. That is very irritating, actually, for him to do that. Or is it my people? Because I might actually... I mean, I have a bunch of people in my army at the moment who are potentially recruiting all of them before I can do that. So I'm actually just going to be disbanding my army because I don't need them any further. And we're going to try to recruit some people ourselves. Fosric's Fortress, I'm literally just going to leave that because that doesn't actually give us anything at the moment. And we're just going to get rid of all of the regular recruits. And we're just going to continue going around here. I want to get to around 175 if I can. If I can get more, then that's obviously going to be great. Unfortunately, we're getting a bit unlucky with the availability. Yes, the availability of our wonderful, wonderful troops here, because I've brought all these vassals over here and they're now all resupplying in the area. Ugh, that's a terrible, terrible thing that I've done now, isn't it? Yes, that's really, really bad. But hopefully we can get here. Yes, nice. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Very nice indeed. Yeah, so we have a maximum company size of 189, actually, not 179. And yeah, that is insane. That's so insane for a Bretonnian vassal to have so much. And now here's the funny thing. If I was actually like really concerned with combat strength and so on and so forth, I'd literally just launch attacks against these guys as well. I would literally just, if I wanted to take over the entirety of the map, I would literally just go and attack, I'd probably attack the Dukedom of Brionne next, and then I would attack the Aquitanians as well. But that's the thing. I want to see how the vampires are. I really quite badly want to see how the vampires are, so I'm actually going to make my way over there right now, and we're going to fight some vampires. I'm going to declare war against them by attacking some of their villages, and, or should I say some of their villagers, and we're actually going to see how they do. Alright, so it took me a little bit of time to get over here, but we're finally now embroiled in a battle against some villagers. So I'm just going to declare war against them straight up, and, well, that's it. Now we've got to double down and actually go for it. So I'm going to be attacking Castle Drachenhof extremely fast here. It's literally right next to us. And, well, we do have a couple of vassals in the area as well. I actually would prefer it if they went inside. I know that sounds a bit weird, but generally I would prefer it if they went inside there. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they're not going to attack me right here. Oh, we're actually being attacked by Reichland now as well. The Emperor or Emperor Karl Franz has actually attempted to do that. That's kind of weird. I'm actually not entirely sure why he would decide to do that, to be honest, but you know, that's his choice. You know, that is his choice. Anyway, hopefully my my faction will be able to defend themselves against the onslaught, because people have told me that Reichland is really, really strong, and I'm a bit worried about that fact. And look at that, we're now being attacked. All right, hello there, sir. All right, so this is going to be an interesting one because they have over 1,500 troops. The garrison is actually coming as well, which is which is not exactly great. Not exactly what I wanted, of course, but here's the thing. If I can survive, we'll probably be okay. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to make the video slightly lighter here in editing just so that you can actually see some stuff because it is a bit dark. And otherwise, I do have my Fallen Knight here. He has a lot of skills, as you can see. There's I mean, a lot of my people have a lot of skills, but I think he has the most. I'm not entirely sure if he does, but he has... Actually, maybe I prefer this guy. I don't know. Anyway, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to be using my curse immediately here. And I'm actually wondering... I'm thinking that I'm just gonna cast. I'm just gonna cast on them, and I'm not actually going to do anything like charging my people in or anything like that. I don't think that that's a particularly good idea. I'm just going to go like this. Like this. There we go. And like this. There we go. Just going to try and cast on as many people as possible. Bear in mind that they have such a sick... Oh, yeah. Maybe I should charge them in. Maybe I should charge them in. It's probably going to be a good idea. Let's do this. There we go. And another one around about here. There we go. And... well, this is a different experience, isn't it? This was definitely not on my bingo card for today, because I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna finish up our war with those guys, and then we'll probably go on and attack some more Bretonnians or something like that. But you know what? This is actually cool. I like this. This is a lot of fun to do this. So we're just gonna continue trying to work out something here, and I'm just gonna have to keep a note of, you know, my cooldowns on my prayers and things like that. That's going to make a big difference. Let me actually have a look here. I'm just looking around for enemies. Okay, there's a bunch of infantry over in this direction, so I should probably do something against them. I'd like them to be a little bit closer. Hey guys, can you just clump up a little bit more? Yeah, that would be advantageous, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be the perfect thing for them to do, but obviously they're not going to do that. I'm just going to continue charging my guys in as well, because let's face it, we don't have any kind of friendly fire to worry about either, so that's super, super nice. And we can just continue our onslaught against them. There we go. There's another curse right there. And the question is, how are we doing so far in regards to how many kills we've gotten? Because, well, how many kills we've gotten and how many kills the enemy has gotten, because I'm obviously a little bit worried about the fact that my forces are just kind of charging in here randomly. I don't know whether that's a particularly good idea. It's probably not, all things considered, but that's the thing. Can I really stop them from doing that? I don't think that's a good idea either. Okay, I'm going to have to cast one of these things. Aura of the Lady. Let's cast that. There we go. Give me back some Winds of Magic. No, I'm not getting any back, you see. I'm getting pretty unlucky with my rolls right now. So that's maybe not great, because that means that I'm going to run out of Winds of Magic much, much faster. And that's also a thing why I said, yeah, maybe increasing the mana cost isn't even particularly, you know, good. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's one of those things where you just kind of go, well, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Okay, let's have a look. Where are the new enemies coming in? They're coming in from over here. Cast that on them. Cast this. Oh, look at the amount of damage. The amount of damage that's being done right now is insane. Obviously, these guys could do a much better job of actually attacking me if they literally just attacked instead of running around randomly. Oh, those guys, yeah, there was a guy there that actually attempted to kill me, but he was just a peasant, so his weapon skills were leaving a lot to be desired. I'm getting really unlucky with my 50% chance to regenerate, though. As you can see, I literally have not regenerated this entire time. And if my spell was costing me 6 winds of magic every single time here, I'd already be out of resource. And I wouldn't be able to utilize it any further. So that's something to think about, you know? That is definitely... Oh. Yep, that's a crash. Alright, so here we go again. Unfortunately, the enemy decided not to attack me this time, and I now have the opportunity to just go straight on in, because obviously they interrupted me before as I was building my siege camp and entrenching myself and so on and so forth. So that obviously is a little bit sad. Yeah, a little bit sad, because obviously we were doing fantastically well. We were getting a lot of kills. And I was actually very much enjoying it because, well, let's face it, we rarely get the opportunity to attack that many troops at once. Because, of course, we're mostly fighting against Bretonnians and maybe even Empire at this point. Because Reichland, as far as I'm aware, is an Empire faction, I think, at least. But yeah, otherwise... We're going to go into Castle Drachenhof here, and we're going to see whether we can... Well, I think we'll probably be fine, but it just very much depends on what we face. Because there's a lot of troops in here. I don't have a lot of people myself, and it is a, you know, siege defense for the opponent, so they're going to have all the advantages in the world. Anyway, let's see what we can do. It's very, very bright out as well, so maybe the sun is going to help me, although it is a bit cloudy. Anyway, oh, that guy got murdered. What? Oh, look at that! Look at that! We've got some spells coming up against us right here. Yeah, they're actually using them. They are actually using the spells and doing pretty well, actually, surprisingly enough, with them. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like that. I like seeing that. And yeah, I just gotta be careful not to actually die from that again, because that obviously happened beforehand, didn't it? So let me just see here. Let me just cast this. There we go. And bear in mind that they have massive amounts of troops, so it is going to be really, really difficult to eliminate all of them that easily. They have so many troops. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is actually crazy. The amount of people that they have behind the walls there. We might be okay, though. I mean, obviously, if I continue to use this strategy, we should be completely fine. But very much dependent on whether we can get some people on the walls, because they do seem to be a little bit... My people, at least, do seem to be a little bit hesitant for some reason. I don't know why that is, but yeah, there you go. And they're still pushing the ladders off the walls, which is not exactly great. Aura of the Lady. Let's try and get some regeneration. No, oh, yeah, there we go. I did get the regeneration this time, so that's nice. Let's place this. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I'm actually going to go up the ladder here. Maybe I can... Oh, no. Can I actually get up the ladder? That's the question right here. Can I actually get on there? Yeah, there we go. Can I... Let's just cast that again. Cast that over there. There we go. Alright, nice. How many have we killed so far? Only 400. Look at that. We've only killed 400. That's not really that much, considering there are so many troops in the garrison here. Oh, hello. That's a massive amount of people. Oh yeah, got them all. Gonna use Dwellers Below as well. Gonna use Flock of Doom. Gonna heal myself. Quickly. I need to buff people. There we go. No. I'm running away. Give me my heal. There we go. Okay, I got my heal. I'm surviving. Amazingly enough. There we go. Cast that. Cast this. Make sure to curse as many people as possible. Gonna use this to try and get some XP. And cast this as well. My curse is coming back in just a second. There we are. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure what to do now. I really don't know what to do now. I am literally surrounded by enemies. I'm running around. They're all falling before me right here, but we've got to be careful. I can't, you know, if I extend too much, I'm just going to end up killing myself. Okay, Aura of the Lady. Let's cast that. Thank you. And then Flock of Doom. Yes, look at that. That's what we want to see. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get a curse going. Green Eye, I should probably cast at some point as well. Although, to be fair, is it really going to do much? Well, yeah, it does, but does it really give me anything? Does it really give me anything amazing? I don't know. Kind of, I guess. Curse. Is there anyone else remaining here? No, I don't see anyone. I don't think I see anyone over there either. So it seems like there's just a person in there. I'm going to assume there's a person inside the wall there. And we're just going to be casting Aura of the Lady once again. Hopefully regenerate some of our Winds of Magic. There we go. We just gained another 15. 50% chance, of course, is not that much. I mean, 50% chance is good. It's decent. But obviously, as you saw in the battle beforehand, before we had that crash, we didn't actually regenerate at all. So it can be very unreliable. So that can be an issue. There we go. I think I got them now. I got these two guys and I cast on them with 2 curses, so they should be dead in just a moment, or at least I hope so. Yeah, my forces are being a bit irritating right here, so I'm going to actually tell them to go over here so that I can open up the gates. Don't know why they're not opening the gates to kill them. That is always very strange to me, how the AI is like, yeah, I'm not going to open the gates, guys. I'm just going to leave it closed for some reason or another. And there we go. We can kill these fellows now. There we go. Done. Right? That's it. There we are. Okay, so we actually did achieve victory. We gained 800. We gained 800 renown. 8. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I really was not expecting that. Not in a million years. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? We killed 1,337 enemies. 1,337, aka Leet. Yes. Indeed. Indeed. Okay. Well, that's very funny, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to be taking all of these guys because, well, this is a town, so we can just sell them straight away. Or we can put them into the garrison or whatever you want them to do. And I'm just going to be leveling all our forces up with the 54,000 that we're going to be gaining from this as well. So let's just go into the dungeon here. We'll donate some prisoners because we can actually convert them, obviously. And we have some knights here that could be potentially useful. We could get some of these nobles as well. There we go. That's decent enough. I'm not going to be able to donate any other things here, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to leave it the way it is. But yeah, there is actually a regiment of renown here, but unfortunately we can't do anything with them. So I'm just going to wait here for some time. We got a wonderful autosave coming in, so that's going to save me in case there's another crash, so that's great. Because, you know, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed that. And we can now vote for the owner. Well, should it be me? Yes, it should be me. There we go. And now we have ownership over Castle Drachenhof, which is actually hilarious. That is hilarious. Look at that. That's very funny. And now we're at war against the entirety of the vampires. So, yeah, by all means, let me know. Do you want to see more? Are we too strong? Are we too strong to continue this series? Or do you want to see my war against the vampires? Because it's basically me solo against all of them. So that might be interesting. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.